Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and R.A. Minahan. The host can't see, it's Mike and the Minifans.
Oh, I can just do this. Hey, how are ya? Welcome to Mike and the Minifans on the Kirk Minahan Show Network. The longest hour in recorded broadcast history. I'm here with a fabulous panel, a bunch of studs in the making. We got Gig, we got Tim Ridgels, we got Steve from Gloucester, we got Mick Fustad, we got Beanbag Rod. How are you, gentlemen? What a way to kick off the first episode of BA hosting Mike and the Minifans on the Kirk Minahan Network. How are you, boys?
What's up, boys?
Hey, how you
Don't
doing?
fucking did you dirty with that intro.
Congratulations,
It's been a long road since the 2019 Discord. God bless you. We've done it. We're here. We're here.
We did it.
Elysium.
You know, Joe the Axe said that, you know, she had the network had a baby for 8 months and then got aborted. It didn't get aborted. It got adopted by Kirk Minahan.
Wow.
And we're here. I wanted to start with what's going on pretty recently, and it's fuck Kevin Connolly. You know, unlike Justin, who wanted to ruin Beanbag Ron and McFussdaddy's life, the Minifans, you know what to do. We're out to attack this guy, Kevin Connolly. They're saying the case season 3, episode 1 might be on Kevin Connolly. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the first 2 cases, so I think this is a little bit more interesting or more up my alley. Like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about Kevin Connolly and everything that's going on with this? So it's the kind of the new story of the day. I'll start with you, McFuss. What do you think?
Well, I mean, he's a rat just stealing money from people. That's not right. So I'm with the Jersey Jerry Army in this one. I know Osella was saying I stand with Kevin Connolly, but no, I think the Minifans and the Riders and the Jersey Jerry Army all together. That's like nuclear war, all going after people. I saw the Wontons Warriors were even getting in on it. So I don't know. It's all hands on deck. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Tim, you said you owe Kevin Connolly $16 for riblets. What do you think about this?
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing, I heard Kevin Connolly was like, "Oh, Entourage sucked." I watched like a season and a half, like back in college when I was like baked out. But like, I forgot he was Rudy. He's fucking Rudy. Like, so for a second,
Rudy. Oh yeah,
I was torn by the fact that like you guys are probably too young for it, but like Rudy, like the climax of Rudy when he runs on that field, bro, an absolutely all-time like drill you in the feels, like you have to be like, oh, that's awesome type moment. I forgot he was Rudy until like 2 hours ago when that like one fucking like mismatch got like posted, but yeah, he's
on the jewelry saying he's not Rudy. Everyone's saying he's not Rudy.
Austin is Rudy, you fucking ding dong. Jesus Christ, it's
I
fucking
almost just fucking
Sam
lost my
Wise,
mind.
the fucking
Unbelievable.
I'm
Dude.
like, what the fuck is he talking about?
I
Yeah,
just
I was
reached on
trying
my
to
phone
think
to
of his
relook
name.
that
I'm
up.
like,
so what was the jersey?
Oh my god.
Dude,
All right, Tim.
Poor fucking Sean Austin too. Can you imagine all these Minifans just going after that guy? He's like a fucking saint.
He's not
Let's
Rudy.
start over. Let's start over.
wait. Hang on.
All right,
So what was the
Connolly.
jersey?
Okay, so Kevin Connolly scumbag. Steve from Gloucester, what do you think about this? You think what do you think about this whole saga with Kevin Connolly?
Absolutely.
I call him Connolly.
Absolute scumbag. If he's not paying people, I mean that's a low blow. And I like that Ryan Whitney's not running that episode anymore. He took it down like in solidarity with
Honor.
Jersey Jerry. So that, like you say, BA, that's honor right there.
Nice. Ron, what do you think about this?
I kind of like him.
Oh, you're
No,
Kevin Why? Why do you
I
like
don't know. Yeah, the guy's a fucking scumbag. I mean, it's not surprising at all. He sucked as a character on Entourage. He was the worst. Terrible actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, what else is there more to say? I mean, fucking Matt Stafford's wife's reaching out to Jersey Jerry about this. Clearly, the guy's a fucking scumbag.
I do think I like this kind of concept of the case where I think it could be interesting. It could get a lot of buzz where it's like and they got the inside Barstool. Like you have that first interview with Jersey Jerry, could be a little bit of comedy to it as well, where the first cases didn't have much comedy. Gig, what are your thoughts on all this? And we'll get into the week.
Well, my thoughts are Sean Astin was great in the Goonies.
Absolutely.
He was lovable in the Goonies. He was lovable in Stranger Things recently. And no, it's about time. We needed, it's been a long time since we've had a good war. What was the good war against the Lamley? Was that the last one?
Yeah.
So this might be what's needed to reunite the networks, a little good side action.
Yeah, I think for sure. I think I like what if the Minifans could get together, Kirk gave the call to action. Minifans, what to do, so but let's get into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about is Gus's shepherd's pie party. Sounds like the worst St. Patrick's Day party that you could possibly go to. Like, who's going to St. Patrick's Day party and the big draw is shepherd's pie? Like,
Fucking
no one wants to go
right
to this
here.
Gig, I guess you're a sober guy, right? So
It's true, but nothing beats a good shepherd's pie. Although the Europeans, I got to say, like Gordon Ramsay makes it different. They make it with lamb, potatoes, and carrots. And here in Maine, we make it with potatoes, corn, and ground beef. So it's a big difference.
Yeah, I think Kirk, when he was, they were confused about shepherd pie on the show. I think they were talking about you get confused shepherd's pie or chicken pot pie. I think that's where the issue was.
Is it not the same thing?
Steve from Gloucester, a bit.
It's a little different.
No, two different things.
I didn't even know what it was. I don't think I've ever eaten it. It sounds delicious, but not anything I've ever consumed.
You'd actually like it, Steve. There's sometimes people put peas in it. So
there we go. Well, that's a win.
Yeah, but the worst party ever. Tim, would you go to a shepherd's pie party at Gus's house on St. Patrick's Day?
The thing is, when he's close to Mount Doom and he's really stumbling, like fucking Sam doesn't do much to help him. He could help more, and it really, truly leads me to believe that he's a complete piece of shit.
Gus, piece of shit. Yeah. Is that what you're is that Tim? You're talking about Gus as a piece of shit?
Dude, I don't care that I owe Rudy $16 for those riblets that time in Indianapolis. That was a convention, bro. Whatever.
Are you still talking about Rudy?
Yeah, he's a complete piece of shit. No matter how good Rudy was, like, dude, dog shit guy.
Yeah, fuck you, Sean Astin.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Sean. Yeah, maybe we go after Sean. But McFutz, Ron, what do you think? Shepherd's pie parties, are you going to it?
I don't know. I don't eat at places with a lot of dogs because you can just count on there being a lot of dog hair in that shepherd's pie. I'm not sure, but I mean, otherwise, I'm for sure it'll be a good time.
Yeah, I'll give it to him. It seems original, but that's a heavy meal for a theme party too. Like people aren't going to be off the walls after they eat shepherd's pie. But
wait, dude, he's not the guy from fucking Brute.
Let's get over that.
All right, Tim, we're moving past it.
Hey, wait, wait a second, real quick. Is Coleman going now to the party?
I could see Coleman crushing. Like he goes to the shepherd's pie party, he's going for seconds.
Well, look, speaking from experience, like potatoes is the fat man's kryptonite. You got to stay away from potatoes if you're trying to diet, bro.
Yeah. But shepherd's pie parties, Rudy not being Kevin Connolly, but we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the week if you must. But Justin, a bad week for Justin. He starts the week going after our two friends down below me, McFuss, Daddy, and Ron. And I related to Justin Carano, like he was like Matt Carano, where Kirk makes this joke over and over, calling Carano gay. He laughs. Then when the Minifans kind of start making the joke, it's like, oh, what the fuck? And deep down, you could tell that he's mad at Kirk for the joke, not the fans, you know? So McFuss said, Ron, he said he was going to dox you, put out your information. I think you squashed the beat, but how did you feel about this? I'll start with Fuss.
I just think it all came down to miscommunication. At the beginning, we kicked him out of Jeopardy. Then they said they weren't going to spoil anymore. I think he meant to send me that message after the show that day, because then they spoiled that day. Then we did the episode name, and Justin could have reached out and we could have just squashed it there. But we got together in the morning. Then I told him I wouldn't release any of that information. Another miscommunication. So that one's on me. But so it was just all miscommunication. There was no malice, I don't think, behind any parts. I wouldn't say he's like Carano. I think there's just a lot of Portland stress going on. It was kind of a tough week in the studio. Everybody was a little upset with each other. So I think there's a lot of stress. Yeah,
you could tell like the chair broke. You know, Kirk said Justin will be done by Labor Day. Ron, what would you think when he's like, I reached out? Like, how was that call with Justin? He said he reached out to you before.
Yeah, well, so it kind of started when he spoiled the second episode with the warthog. We kind of thought about it, and we were kind of like got more pissed off as time went on. So I sent him a DM. I was like, dude, we've never had a problem with you. Like, I don't know why you just go nuclear like that and just spoil the rest of our shit. And he was like, yeah, well, you should have came to me instead of tweeting it that I was, disqualified from Jeopardy. So, never really apologized or anything. So that night, me and Fuss were like, fuck it, let's just do Justin fuck ups Mount Kirkmore. So the next morning I reach out to Clemmer and see if he wants to do it. Clemmer responds and says, I'll never do anything with McFuss Daddy. He's came after me. Fuck him. So I was like, all right, didn't think anything of it. Asked Vodka to do it. And he said yes. And then Clemmer ended up leaking to Justin that we were doing that fucking rat Clemmer. And they ended up doing the Minahan Mountain thing. And it's a great name, by the way. That was a great move. So they did that, and then we ended up doing the Mount Kirkmore, which Menners labeled Justin Touches Kids. Justin did not like that. Immediately requested that we do a private conversation where he said he went through, where we work and stuff and was ready to release it. So I think everything's good now, but yeah, he was fired up. So I hope he's over it now, because we love you, Justin, but geez, that escalated quickly.
Yeah. Steve, what do you think? Did you think Justin went too far here? Do you think it's a tough week? What do you think?
Well, he's very tough to read, because I was when I was in the studio, I asked him about what was going on, and he's very quick. Like, oh, everything's fine. And you always wonder, like, is it really fine, Justin? Like, are you okay? Like, just trying to, be nice to him. And you didn't really hear anything until the show began, where like he opened up a little bit. I do think he's over it, but like you guys are saying, I think there is stress from Portland, and I think a lot of things are getting to him right now. And, maybe he gets over the stuff after Portland and he feels better about himself.
I think Steve nailed it.
Yeah, like Kirk said it. Kirk already said it. He has zero confidence in Portland. He talked about Coleman coming up with like shitty ideas. People were wondering why I came to the network, and Kirk actually offered me a full row in the orchestra for my friends and family to be able to come to the network. So that was honor on Kirk's end. But Gig, what do you think? Like, Portland is being undersold. Like, the zero confidence in the producers. The stress is coming through. What do you think about all this?
Oh, so you lump on the weight loss challenge. What do we have? About 2 weeks to go until then. I think the boys are under some stress. I think they have, Coleman went sleep deprived there a week or two ago. I think it has the opportunity to be a complete and total nightmare. And but I will say this, that venue, I know Kurt keeps on saying this, but I've been actually going to that venue ever since the early 90s. There's no better place to do it. So you have to really try hard to fuck up at that place.
Yeah, I don't think the audio or anything will be the issue. Tim, so now that we've confirmed Rudy wasn't Kevin Connolly, what do you think about this? What do you think?
Can I ask you five gentlemen? what of the three producers, who do you think has the best sense of humor as far as like translating to live shows and knowing what the people are going to like and what's going to get the crowd going? BA, go ahead.
Of like Steve, Cullinane, and then the two that are here now.
Yes, as far as like in a live setting, as far as to like get the crowd like going and get everyone laughing and having a good time at a comedy podcast live show.
I would think Cullinane probably had the ear to the fans, probably the best for idea wise. Implementation would be Steve, and then I think these two don't like. I don't think
implementation would be Steve as far as, but Cullinane did
like,
do the Wilbur and the state and stuff.
Well, I would say like because they talked about it earlier today, or I think earlier today, where they went up to Madawaska. The video didn't even have sound. Like it wasn't even the Plymouth wasn't the issue. The video wasn't the issue. So I don't know what. How about you guys? What do you think, Steve? Who has the best
connection, sense of humor?
Connection.
Steve
for
overall,
a live show,
is the better. Technically of the producers. As far as content, I don't know. I'm in between Cullinane and Justin on the content side of it because Justin's been there forever, so he kind of knows what fans like and don't like. And Cullinane is Cullinane, so of course there's going to be something funny involved. But if I had to pick one overall, it would be Steve.
Yeah, I think at the last show, Cullinane was out like fucking the inflatable doll and getting whipped by Kirk. Cullinane will go out on stage, and make a fool of himself. So, I think that's the answer.
Don't you think Coleman's kind of almost there too, though, where he's kind of like embracing being the butt of the joke a little bit, which I kind of appreciate. Like he's being a lot less sensitive on that stuff. He can take a punch now, which is cool. So
he definitely can take a punch.
Where people are at by and large, like a cross section. I kind of wonder where
he definitely can take a punch better than Justin. That's for sure. Like if you about taking a punch, how about you, Gig? Who do you think has the best ear to the fans?
It's kind of different. Like I think Cullinane probably is probably would be number one, but closely behind it would be Steve. And I think that Justin could actually just take his shirt off and run around the place like a wild man and whip it into an absolute frenzy. Like if he just went ham and just went crazy, Justin would whip that place into
that would be literal ham.
It would be ham.
Fantastic. It'd be pink and glorious.
Sweaty. Moist.
But Coleman, he's like Jeff D. Lowe is saying he's obsessed with the Minifans. I also think the drops were a little bit forced this week. And then, no one got into this enough when he said his two big reasons for being a Republican were immigration and the Epstein list. I don't know, Coleman. I think both producers, like you said, I guess it's the stress of Portland, right? But
you also missed. He said his roommates turned him Republican as well when he was big lefty. So.
Yeah, Coleman's coming around. No, we're molding him into the right way. He's off the lib path. He's coming the right way. We need to encourage him. He doesn't realize.
Realize the reason the list hasn't come out is because there's as many fucking right wing people on it as there are left wing. Like it's all the exact same fucking people. Like that's the reason. It's like everybody.
And please don't disencourage the drops either. More drops.
Yeah, please.
I think he usually is doing good a job, but a little bit forced. I think a little bit forced.
The drops just need to be better organized, and those little pads on the side of the roadcaster there, those are for banks. So if he was just to organize his drops a little bit better, as opposed to like hunting and clicking for it, it'd be a lot faster. That'd be a lot better. That's what Kirk's looking for right now. You got to be quick with it.
I have cancer.
There you go, John. So Steve.
John.
Before we get into the network stuff, you reached out to Kirk trying to be CEO of this network.
Hold on, let me clarify this.
What?
No, a couple weeks ago when he first had the network thing and they were talking about CEOs and who could potentially do it, my name was mentioned and I thought it was just a joke. So I may have missed it because I didn't know he named John or anybody as CEO. So when I asked to move, I was like, well, if that's still open, I'll do that. But I just want to move consistency podcast over because I'm a team player and I want to, be with the best team. And so that was pretty much where that came from.
Little Matthew Bevilacqua from Gloucester.
That's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
Yep. Okay, Maddie.
I was shocked trying to get the CEO. Like it was almost as crazy as Montante Zamboni take, So
What was that about? $100,000 to drive a Zamboni? Like, what is he?
You got to think they're doing something else too. I think it's too far off, like 70, 80.
I've just always figured people in New Jersey, if you do like the most menial task, anything, like whatever you assign to menial, you make like
$50 an hour.
80, 95 grand a year just so you can keep up with like the cost of living. Like I figure that's probably actually a decent number, and the online stats are dog shit.
Because everybody pays everyone to do their own shit.
Montante might have been closer to right than unfortunately fucking reality.
Were you talking about a Zamboni driver for the New Jersey Devils or the Florida Panthers? Because that guy's probably making fucking 10 grand a year.
State, like it's like your rent's like $3,000 a month. It's just like fucking. You got to make money to do anything. Like
but it's a side gig though. You're a glorified lawnmower. I mean, it's not fucking rocket science,
Yeah, it was. Montante Zamboni take like 30 grand. But for 30 grand, 40 grand, it's probably good. It's a good side job for sure.
Yeah.
You work nights.
Definitely.
People also were saying that a lot of people reached out to me that Montante was like really sucking Whitney's dick, like really trying to get in with Whitney. I don't know. What did you think, Gig? Did you think that he was doing this? Doing inside jokes, all that stuff.
I'm not one to judge if someone's on, okay? But
No.
they were pretty fucking on. Like those guys. I love hockey guys because they're like bros, and they definitely had a little bit of a bromance going on, those two. But I love Montante on the show. He's great, and I thought it was a great show. I really did.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
Montante shows are good. How about Mutt? I think Mutt will work at Milton's by the end of the year. I think he could be like a sales rep / spokesman for Milton's. Like he's at the store, he's selling clothes, he's signing autographs, he's doing the Mutt stack. I think it's the best thing. Yeah, like a Milton street teamer. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Does Ron feel bad at all for like putting him on the spot? Like during that show where Mutt's on, Beanbag Ron is on, a recovering alcoholic, wearing like a safety vest and like a hard hat, and it's just like you're just rubbing Mutt's face. Like Beanbag Ron has a job. Like let's go here.
Yeah, like I think he could do it. I think he could be like the Milton spokesman. Minifans could
go back to your Rudy takes.
Ever since that Rudy take, Tim is off of it.
He's like on a 10-minute lag.
There he is.
I think Mutt's appearance, the best thing that came out of Mutt there was the Miniclone reference there, because I think the best person he nailed is Oatsella is like the biggest Miniclone now. Everybody thought he was gay, and now he just hammers the same thing over and over and over again.
Oatsella's compromised. Like he trolls by being annoying. Like that's his whole thing. It's crazy. He wants to fuck Coleman. It's clear. Coleman wants to fuck him. And I think they had a falling out. I think they actually went on a couple dates and then it didn't work out. But
did anyone meet Oatsella in Delaware? Did anyone else?
No, I don't think. No, did you meet him?
Yes. Seems just almost like everyone else where there's like they come in like super hot and just fucking flame everyone.
Oh wow!
Like seems like a totally nice person.
Justin Trudell actually said kind of an unnecessary shot there by Tim towards my main guy Beanbag Ron. So Justin said,
nice, I like it.
Justin looking like he's feeling a little bit better.
That's my soldier.
But
I love that guy.
Well, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the week. Manners. Look inward. Look inward has gone international. Everyone's telling everyone to look inward now. But he sends this sad DM to Blind Mike He sends a sad DM to Blind Mike, and I said Menners was a great leader, and I really appreciate everything he did. But the worst type of man, a leader is happy when your people get promoted. The worst type of leader is when you get a promotion and then they start saying, oh, why are you going to this job? You should stick with me. And it's all because of a selfish motive, because they know by you leaving, their job gets worse. And if you look at Kirk's leadership style has been questioned by Menners over and over again. But all of Kirk's employees that worked for him and went on to bigger, better things come back and are happy. So I think Menners needs to look inward as a leader here. But what do you think, Steve? I guess we all had to deal with this a little bit, but what do you think, Steve?
Well, I agree with you. I mean, there's less pressure with Kirk, and with Menners, you never really knew where you stood. I liked him, respect him. I still do. But you never knew what Menners you were going to get. If he was going to hammer you one week, if he was going to be great with you. So there wasn't that consistency that made me feel like, wow, I'm working with somebody who I know where I stand. And with Kirk, you know where you stand. You're like, he's going to break your chops. He's going to make fun of you. But you know where you stand every week. And that's what I didn't like about Menners. There just wasn't enough consistency with him to make me feel good.
But everyone's had that boss where, like, I've had it where I was like, oh, I'm going up for this promotion. The boss is like, no, don't do that. You stay here because they want it's selfish. Menners, it's me a little bit there.
Well,
Gig,
that's
what do you think?
That's what it is, BA, because it's like he called it the Menners Minifan Network. And I'm like saying, well, why don't you just remove the word Minifans from the title? Because it's really about you. It's not about your fans. And when you're pitting shows against each other at one point, it's like, all right, is it really about the fans? Because you're not showing that.
Yeah, I think a little bit selfish motives by Menners there. You should look inward. Gig, what do you think? You were in the executive team.
Yeah, so yeah, I got a little bit of a bone to pick. Like, I recently reached out to Menners with a couple suggestions, and his reply to me was "get fucked." Now, I think that he feels as though I jumped ship on his network, and the last thing I did was I wrote a banger of a fucking Jeopardy cover song for these two, right?
Yep.
That was for that network, right? And then in the meantime, Pat Ford reached out to me about working on the drips. So me, being the artiste that I am, just fucking went and worked on that. So I don't think it was fair for Menners to just say, get fucked, when literally I was working, I was putting my hard work behind these boys that were on that network at the time. So, and my suggestion was to him was to turn the old network into like Nick at Night, to start watching Poppy's Kitchen, start watching Anal, with Ned, and start watching some of those old shows over there, like it's Mystery Science Theater 3000, like some old school Nick at Night. And his response, get fucked. Well, fuck you, Menners, you little squirt. Fuck you.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you.
This is a good comment. Was Menners bad to work with? Y'all should have him out here. Y'all should have him on here and have it on like Ben. Menners was great to work with. I would say.
Yeah, he was fine to work with.
Doing shows with Menners is the biggest talent out of anyone. He's the biggest talent out of anyone. Joe the Axe and Menners are about to cry on Gathering the Goats last night. Like, tears are running down their eyes. And they're saying, it all was about me, essentially, a little bit, where they're saying, oh, BA didn't reach out to us before he decided to take out Mike and the Minifans. Like, in all honesty, if Kirk reaches out to me, says to take, do you want Mike and the Minifans? I'm going to leave it up to him to announce it. I think that's a better way to do it than tell everyone first and do all this stuff. So I think like it got a little bit serious, especially on the Axis side, and she's great, but and I told her to come be the producer here. It would be the same thing. We just do it on this channel. It's going to be the same amount of views anyway. The same people watch this stuff anyway. It's not going to be, it's not going to be crazier exposure, but it's nice that the Menners said BA's a scumbag. Thank you, BA. Thank you, Menners. But it's nice that the Kirk's buying into the network, and I think that's what Menders wanted from the beginning, buying into the network, right? So, what do you guys think, Ron?
And Minners, to be honest, was great to work with. The reason that I think kind of drove us off the network was after the Justin debacle. We had Joe and Dante calling for Justin's job and comparing it to the medical field and all kinds of crazy shit like that. I was like, that's not somewhere I want to be anymore. So if people are having fun elsewhere, they're not having fun anymore.
Yeah, I don't really care too much about that. I just roll with my man Fuss, and if he says go, I go. So I really don't have a problem with Menners, to be honest. I like Menners. Sorry, dude, but hey, listen,
I love it.
I follow
Menners
my
is the
leader.
best.
It's McFuss.
I did. Gathering the Goats was great last night. Gathering the Goats was great last night. VD Menners, it was awesome. And then having Kirk jump in, and he did say that if Menners moves to the US, he gets the producer stuff. Menners would be the best producer in Kirk Minahan show history by far. I don't think there's a doubt to that. I hope. He said he has not a lot going on right now. Maybe he does it. What do you think? What would you like to see Menners as a producer? What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, from a content standpoint, he's really good at what he does, and I think he would fit right in if he was a producer. Absolutely.
He'd be great. He'd be funny on air. I think he'd have good topics. He would run stuff very diligently. He has a little bit more maturity. How about you guys, Fuss? What do you think?
Oh, for sure. I think he said. I mean, they sold the restaurant. I think his daughter's in a college in America. Like, why not just move? This is the best country in the world, anyways. Menners, go ahead and come on over. Then when somebody fucks up, just slide right in and take the job, and we'll see what happens. It would be really funny though if Menners came over and got fired after like 2.5 months. And it just kind of add on his ass.
Well, the problem with Menners is he's addicted to the weed, man. He'd be hot. He's gonna be stoned all the time, So it would be tough. But
He'd
yeah,
be looking for a partnership.
I hope, Oh yeah, he would be definitely looking for a partnership. What do you think, Ron?
It would be fucking electric if he ever came over here. It would be fucking awesome. But you are looking at two alphas also, and I don't know how much Menners gonna He can't even deal with Kirk criticizing him now without being a little baby about it. So if he was in that producer seat, it would be he might melt. But I would love to see it.
Killer Quality says
that.
Yeah, it'd be the best. Killer Quality says BA is mid without Menners. I totally agree. Like Menners is the best in the business. You can't deny that. Get Your Man wanted me to read this. It's funny that out of Kirk's own mouth, if Menners was in the USA, he would have the producer job and y'all be tossing a salad. Well, of course, yeah. We all would want him to have a job.
Just wanted to do my due diligence here. BA, that was Gator Man, not Getro.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, where did that fucking druggy fucking Tim Riggles go?
Tim Riggles is going to watch
fucking
Rudy
idiot.
Right now.
He's back checking himself. Come on, Tim. Come on back.
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine Big Steve and Menners in studio at the same time?
Oh my god!
Come
everywhere.
The best.
It would be amazing. Menners would be the best. This is the thing. Like leaving the network, it was never a slight to Menners. It was like, hey, Kirk's asked us to do something. We're gonna do it. Like this is the Kirk Minahan show. This is all this stuff. Like it's nothing against Menners, but Menners took it too personally. But he's the best. I hope we can work with him again in the future. I hope maybe we bring Menners live to the network. Who knows? But what was funny is Don the Jeweler actually exposed Kirk in a way. So Kirk has always said he never listens to Meeting of the Minds. He doesn't even know what it is. So I have a clip here from Gathering the Goats.
So to get to the grudge point I was going to make, you said you hold a grudge
against you.
I was visiting colleges with Kate, and I was going for a run that night when I heard you talk about how we should talk about your network 40% of the time on our show. Right there, I said, I'm ending this guy.
So Kirk says he was out on a run at night visiting colleges, and Don the Jeweler found where the clip was from, and it was from Meeting of the Minds.
The network is not being talked about enough. I mean,
I agree.
I
love the network talk.
The KMS should be 40% network, 25% inside Barstool stuff, So that's 65%, and then anything else fits in the other 35%. That's the way I think it should be.
Oh, it was funny. Kirk is actually exposed as a closet fan of Meeting of the Minds, and I think that's funny that Kirk's out on a run. He's out on a run late at night. He's like, "Oh, what should I watch?" And he pulls up Beanbag Ron, Jay, John, and Menners,
and Trent. Shout out Trent.
And Trent. So yeah, Kirk's a closet Jay guy. John says he wants. So John, I think John actually being the producer is really being the CEO is really getting to him because he can't be on the screen. He has to be behind the screen. So he's trying to get me and the Minds back on this network. Maybe we'll do it. Who knows? But,
can Menners join this right now?
You can send Menners a link John. You can send Menners a link. Definitely.
John, send him a link. Get that Australian fuck on here.
Send him a
He's
link.
not my boss anymore. I can fucking.
That
would be funny.
I've been saying for weeks that if Kirk could go on Meeting of the Minds or those shows without it being a big deal or without everybody making a huge deal out of it, like he would go on almost every episode. He says he listens to everything. Like he just wants to go bullshit around at the coffee shop, and that's similar. So I think he would do it.
I think it would be hilarious if Kirk had the only show on that other network.
Yeah.
That'd be the fucking best. He said it last night, and I literally laughed out loud because I was like, that's fucking genius. Kirk ends up having the show on that other network.
Well, Snell had the worst pitch of all time where he's like, Kirk, let's do a wrap-up show of KMS. Like, why would Kirk want to do a wrap-up show of Kirk's show? Like, Snell is kind of a dummy in a sense. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, he's like, I'm gonna do a wrap-up show of the show.
Rumor has it Kirk's the one that's putting shit in his mailbox too.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
If that was
that would be great.
If Kirk read that verbatim, that is the funniest fucking thing in the world. That he messed
oh yeah,
that.
the Snell tweeted it out. He was like,
Snell
tweeted it out. He was like, I propose that we do a wrap-up show of the Kirk Minifans show, me and Kirk. It's like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
But that is a funny drop though. The Snell, like my shadow drop, is so funny. Like I thought Coleman was perfect when he hit that one. I think I hit the 15-second back button a few times today to hear it.
Yeah, that is true. Coleman is good at the drops. I maybe was a little bit hard on him at the start, but yeah, Snell. Also, yeah, Ted Stranis. So there was a lot of Italian Canadian racism going on the show, started by Steve from Gloucester. And there's no Italian Canadians. But I wanted to say, as an I did the Italian move. You know, World War II, the Italians ditched Nazi Germany when shit was going bad and went to the right side of history. This is similar for me leaving KMN and going to KMSN. So thank you, Ted, for reminding me.
That's not exactly how it went, BA. Like Mussolini was hung.
He got worked up. He's sending me a DM. He's like, "Oh, there's little Italy in Toronto." I'm like, "All right, okay."
I did get worked up. I did get worked up. Yeah, because there's Italians in Canada. You guys are crazy. Like it's a classic,
inward, brother.
Actually, the mob in Toronto.
Yeah. BA is a paisan through and through. Salut. Yeah, thank you, Dawn. Killer wanted me to put this up. Who wants to blow Coleman more, Ocello or Steve from Gloucester?
Steve? Not me. No way. I don't go that way.
You don't go that way?
No way.
Steve.
No way. No.
No.
But we'll get to the Unnamed show. Clemmer on the Unnamed show. He was a former Barstool hater. VD exposed the DMs. He takes shots at leadership. And Clemmer in this scenario, he's trying to be like Kirk, where he's like, I'm going after management. Right, but the difference between Clemmer and Kirk is Clemmer's asking management to step in and do all this stuff, where Kirk went after management and said, "Get out of my way." You know what I mean? So Clemmer's like trying to be this tough guy Kirk imitator, but the root of it is totally opposite of what Kirk thinks. But I thought the Unnamed show was great, and Clemmer was New York bar. He takes shots at Dave and KFC. KFC's a number one loser there. But what did you guys think, Fuss? What did you think of this, Clemmer?
Clemmer sucks. I mean, he's been riding coattails his whole life. He rides his wife's coattails because he can't get a job. Then he rides Kirk's coattails and just jumps good and goes to Barstool. And then he's got to ride somebody else's coattails for any of the shit he does to be interesting. That's why the whatever he did with Mincy was interesting. That's why this new thing was interesting. I don't know. He can yell and scream until he can. Eventually, Dave will just get tired of it and say, "See ya." Like he just won't get renewed. He won't get fired. But when that day comes, like that'll be a huge day at my house. Like fuck Clemmer. He's such a fucking phony. I don't know. He's exactly what KMS is not. So I'm glad he's gone.
I think he like he was definitely phony there. He was trying to be Kirk. Don the Jiller, great comment. KFC blowing Rudy was sad. Yeah, KFC's blowing Rudy. It was definitely sad. But Steve, what do you think about Clemmer? Are you? I thought his performance on the Unnamed Show was mockable, definitely mockable. But what do you?
Yeah,
think?
It's a bit at this point. I don't really get it, to be honest with you. I didn't like the 100 hours thing. I didn't understand. I don't understand shooting like daggers at Dave. I mean, Dave, like Fuss said, at any point can just fire him. You know how Portnoy can be. So I just think Clemmer needs to ease up a little bit and like realize how good he has it at Barstool. He's got a great job. He should just lay low and just put out some good content.
Yeah, Keg, what do you think?
Just like I like Clemmer, but it's almost like he's trying to be the den mother of the New York office, and
that's a great analogy.
Yeah, it's really good.
And maybe it's just because he's a little bit older than everyone. So fucking start making content, buddy. I mean, this is just another reflection of how how the New York office is just listing in open seas compared to that Chicago office. Chicago has their shit together and New York is just chaos. And, fucking Clemmer's whining about someone, you didn't bring Rice Krispie treats this week, fucking, being a big baby about it. So just do something about it, Clemmer. Do something.
Yeah. Confused Duck said Clemmer was white knighting in his office, and in his office, Dad told more than asking personally for direction. Yeah. I don't know.
No, the dad. That's what he said. The
dad role. The dad.
Yeah,
role.
The dad role. Exactly. He's like a den mother. So
I will say though, his performance on the Unnamed Show, he knew he was walking into a buzzsaw. Like, what's he supposed to do? Like, that's kind of a lose for him. To his credit, I know Fuss hates hearing that. Sorry, but
he should have thanked Dave for saving his ass again. That's what he should have been very appreciative.
When him and Kirk are screaming at each other, I mean, that was entertaining. You can't deny that.
It was definitely entertaining. It was definitely entertaining, but that's where I was saying is like the root of it is like he's trying to be like Kirk, but it's not the root is wrong. Where he wants who wants more management, unless you have leadership like Menners who wants micromanagement. Like you want laissez-faire, you like Kirk, where he's like, oh, you guys could do whatever you want, right? No one wants a micromanager like there saying, oh, do this, do that, do this. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I think he lost the team though when he stuck his foot in his mouth and he said people are afraid to sneeze in here, and then they did that compilation of saying, are you afraid to make content here? And everyone was like, no.
Well, you could
kind of made him look like an asshole. That kind of sucks.
Only people were like Gia. I think Gia was the only one that's like
no surprise
was kind of like, oh, I don't know, what do I say, And then
Roan was.
But Roan was joking.
No, yeah. I know. Roan was obviously joking.
I bet Clemmer and Gia eat lunch every day and just bitch about how they get no help. It's just a disgusting two people.
Hey, I will say this too. I think that was probably the most entertaining that Portnoy has been on the Unnamed Show as well.
Yeah, I think it was the best Unnamed. I think they're finding their stride. It's I think it is slowly becoming my favorite. Like KMS is great, but it's slowly becoming my favorite hour of Kirk, because just those three together it's an hour. It's funny. They're busting balls. They're I don't know. It's great. Someone said it's their favorite thing. But Steve, what do you think?
I agree. Yeah, I like the Unnamed Show's really coming along now, and I don't think Whitney gets enough credit. He's really good at breaking balls, being funny, and not afraid to get after Dave, which is really good too. So I know Kirk gets a lot of the credit for that, but Whitney brings it on that show.
Is there a more terrifying feeling for an underling to go on a show with Kirk, Dave, and Whitney?
Yeah, Oh yeah, because you know
Like
you're
that
just gonna get
fucking
eviscerated.
sucks.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
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 there's no
you
let
get
up. Like
fucked.
all three of them are not going to let up.
Yeah,
I think
that is
everyone's
the
just
ultimate
waiting for the
gauntlet.
guns to turn inward, though.
Yeah, maybe.
When the guns turn inward, that's what we're talking about.
I mean, when
Yeah, like
Whitney
that.
was in studio, he was kind of being a dick to Justin the whole time he was in there. So you could tell there was palpable tension that's been going on. He was probably just getting ready for Clemmer.
Patrick Crowley said to Tim O.D. on the Jewel.
Yeah, where did he go?
I think he did. I don't know. I think that Rudy take really got to him. Like I think he was like
it fucked
embarrassed.
him up bad.
I don't know.
He probably thought the equipment manager and Rudy was John Amos as well.
Oh, this is a great question by Sam Ryan. Sam Ryan said, "Will Menners move to the Kevin Conley Action News Network?" That would be funny. That would be
Who pays more, Kevin Conley or Menners?
Yeah, who pays more? Probably Menners. He paid $100.
Probably Menners.
He paid
$100.
Yeah.
Dude, that's more than nothing.
He paid $100 a month on. I thought the heartwarming story of the week. Robbie V comes across the desk of Dave Portnoy for doing his gambling show. Robbie V, if everything plays out, could be the next hire at Barstool Sports. I think that comes out of this. I think he already made a post on the Reddit saying, "I'm Robbie V. My lock of the week is this." He just got to get the wording right, but that would be awesome. I'm rooting for Robbie V, and it was nice to see Kirk stand up for him. So
yeah, you could see him on the couch in New York, like during the gambling feeds, like being in the back row, like talking to the guys. I could definitely see that.
What do you guys think?
Robbie V has a good Rodney Dangerfield quality about him. Really, honestly.
Robbie V,
a lot of hires at. Sorry.
Go ahead, go, Ron.
I was gonna say a lot of hires at Barstool, like Brandon Walker and stuff, like kind of started off weird fucking Portnoy sightings like that. Could this be Robbie V's big break? I would fucking love that for him.
Yeah, I think he has to rebrand lock of the week to maybe the MVP pick of the week or something like that, and then he could do it. But that would be awesome. I'm rooting for Mr. V. Fuss, what do you think?
He's had the most consistent show on the network, I think. I mean, I'm not sure the last time he missed a week, so he'll work harder than some of the people that are in New York now. So why not give the man a chance? I think it'd be smart. If it happens. I mean, I know Dave was just saw it because of some regulation stuff. But
you imagine Stephen Shea and Robbie V doing a show with each other? Be great.
Yeah. Oh, that would be funny. Robbie V. That would be if that happened. That's what I'm rooting for. But Sneaks in the chat calling us losers. What I've noticed lately is like Kirk brings up Sneaks a lot. Like he brings up sneakers a lot, but he has this like respect for sneakers, and he really likes them. He really wants them to be part of everything. Even yesterday, he was like, "Sneakers is the voice of reason. You need sneakers on here, right?" So, what have you guys noticed that at all, or is it just me?
No, I don't think he's brought him up at all this week, has he?
But in the last few weeks, it's been
once. Yeah,
he brought him up like
once or twice. Yeah,
he brought him up.
Yeah,
he brought him a couple times on. He brought him a couple times yesterday on Gathering the Goats. But it's funny. It's really funny that to see the transition.
Sneaks is really good at playing hard to get. He's good at playing hard to get, but he'll also show you those Kirk DMs, and as like a point of pride for him. So you don't really know. I think he's just good at playing it.
No, but like sneakers is like Kirk said it last night. Like he sneakers loves the show, but he demands excellence out of the show. Like he wants it to be on this level. He knows it could go to the other level, right? So, yeah. Cameo by Mike said Discord BA is different from KMN BA. So that's thank you, Cameo.
How did Sneaks feel about the show today with Steve? Because that was kind of, I don't know, old school, if you could say. Like Steve's the best. So what do you think about today? Did today suck? There's a question for you.
I
Sneaks.
Yeah, that's a question for Sneaks in chat. I thought actually the show today, it did have a little bit of an old school vibe. It was funny. I think Steve wanting to do the spoofing off of Miss Peaches with Ziggy being like, "Oh, my dog doesn't eat food." I thought that was kind of funny.
It seemed like it could have been a longer show today too. They had some stuff to film, I guess, but and the Montante show too seemed like it could have been a lot longer.
Yeah, I think the calls, not having the calls is like, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think the calls should be back?
Montante because they had the unnamed podcast after. I think but that definitely could have won an extra hour for sure.
Yeah, they were cooking.
Oh, Sneaks was working. He didn't get the chance to listen to it, Ron. There you go. Your answer. But the shows this week, I think this was a solid four shows this week. Each of them were really good. Do you want the calls back though? Do you want the calls back? I guess that's the question that's burning up Dane and Newton. He wants them back, you know.
I don't really miss them, to be honest. Do you guys? I don't. I think the show's been fine. I don't know.
I don't miss the call. I think like the calls, you spend all this time and like one or two are good. You get sometimes the calls spark something, but in the most part, it's just like they kind of suck. So I don't know if you try to do like once a week of calls or you say, okay, we do calls the last show of the week kind of thing. But
I always think it's funny when they call out to people. Yeah. When something comes in, they need to get an answer from somebody and they call out and they can never get to anybody. I don't think they've done that in a while.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I can't do calls 4 times a week. The mini golf, callers can't handle it. People are divisive on the calls though. But who do you think wins the weight loss bets? And it was crazy. Mick the other day was being like, "Oh, Coleman's like 220." It's like, no way, dude. Like Mick has no concept of weight. But who do you think wins the weight loss bet here? I think it might be Justin. But who do you think? Gig.
I'm gonna go with Coleman, and just because he's a little bit younger. And I think everyone's going to take Justin's side. And I was surprised to hear like Whitney and Justin have kind of collaborated already on some type of a diet. But I'm going to take Coleman, and I'm here for the kid if he needs a little help doing it, dude, because I know all about it, buddy. So don't eat anything in a box or a bag, Coleman. Start with that. Nope, nothing out of a box, nothing out of a fucking bag. That's a good thing to start.
Coleman, you're thinking you're going Coleman, Steve, or Braun. Go ahead.
I was gonna say if Justin's first meal is chicken nuggets, you have a pretty good chance, Gig.
Yeah, yeah.
Who do you think, Ron?
I mean Coleman after today, but they're both pretty dedicated. I could see Justin just not eating at all for the next like 3 weeks. Like he says, he's gonna when he has his mind to something. It's either gonna break him in half or he's gonna be rail skinny by the end of these 3 weeks. So I don't know. We'll see. But I'm happy for him, dude. Any excuse to lose weight's great. Not to be gay.
Plus, what do you think?
I think it's easily Justin. I think he's a lot of water weight, so he's just got to go sit in the sauna and walk around. It's about to get hot outside. So if he's gonna lose a shit ton of weight. He'll look a lot different in 100 days. But I would take that minus 150.
This is a good. Jizz Wizard said Coleman doesn't eat box, so at least he doesn't have to take that off the menu.
There you go.
Oh, yeah, they're going by weight, or they going by like body fat percentage lost. Well,
I don't even think it's body fat.
Right?
It's like
BMI.
I don't think it's BMI. I think it's like percentage of weight lost. I don't think it's BMI because you need like a different kind of scale to do that, right?
Cole, I will tell you what, Justin, like everyone was shitting on his water drinking, but that is integral part of losing weight. You got to be like drinking 70 ounces of water a day at Coleman's size, at least. At Justin's size.
I didn't know Justin was that big. That's crazy.
Soda anymore, and that's a big thing. I mean, what is he at? Like over 100 days without Mountain Dew? I mean, that really is
huge.
Yeah.
Ricky Slick says we need a new comic guy. BA's gatekeeping. Sorry, Ricky. Do better. Justin said people are saying before Justin left studio he was down 6 pounds from pissing. People are saying that. Justin Trudeau.
It's all the water.
Happening. Kid's on fire.
Do you think like this IQ thing, this IQ thing with Mick, this weight loss thing, it's like Kirk's going trying to he's going with what the producer like he would never have done. I guess he couldn't have done this with Steve and Cullinan because they're skinny, but it seems like he's doing more challenge based things. He did the 24-hour challenge. It's going into like more of a Barstool route. Like I don't mind it at all. I kind of like that kind of stuff. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think he's just looking out for his guys. He just wants them to live a long, happy life, lose some weight, and make us happy doing it. So no, I mean, Kirk's just a good leader. That's what good leaders do.
Great
Yep,
leader.
I absolutely agree with that.
Agreed.
I always thought it'd be hilarious if Justin did like starting at 7 o'clock in the morning aerobics on one of the channels for like an hour. So all the other fat Minifans, myself included, could partake maybe in some hip hop abs or something like that for an hour every morning and get that cardio out of the way.
It could be like it could be his Frank's walks. We could have like a Justin's
hip hop abs.
Yeah,
totally.
Oh my gosh.
It's like history repeats itself because they were kind of doing like the Biggest Loser. Remember the
Life Loser challenge,
the Life Loser, Biggest Loser challenge, the blind challenge. They do something on the network for it. Like that would be good. Also, have you noticed there's no? It's probably Portland based, but there's no more KMS scenes at all.
Yeah, that completely went away before Gus left, right?
Was it 4 episodes? Was it 3 or 4?
4 or 5. I was on one of them.
Yeah.
And it got received like decently well too. I don't know what happened. Oh, you know what? I think because he had to like return his camera, right? Did Barstool take his camera back?
They got it back, I thought. Because Justin filmed that when
you
he
could do it with
in
a
his
phone,
closet
so
out
I
with
don't
it.
know. Yeah, Coleman is watching Alex Jones videos instead of editing. Yeah,
but this is what I was saying earlier about Coleman. Like he's kind of like this fake Republican. Like when he says this immigration thing, where he's like his biggest thing is immigration and the Epstein list. Like he has no thoughts on immigration at all. You know what I mean? Like can't put it. But he is younger. But it is funny seeing someone like a young person like trying to get into politics and they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, he got a tough draw coming in during an election year, especially when that girl got killed. I think that was probably all he saw on Twitter all day was just immigration. So he just brings it up.
I think he's just hoping the more he talks about it, the less we'll forget about his old Twitter account.
Yeah,
that he bricked. Look, guys, I really am. I'm right winged. No, you're not.
I really wanted to hear him spew some right wing stuff today while Steve was in. I was loving that.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a great week. Gathering of the Goats, I think, was the highlight of the week. Having Kirk on there. Do you guys have anything else? Do you guys have anything that I didn't bring up that you want to discuss?
I thought because I was there, but the Mike Violette thing between Mike and Kirk was absolutely funny when they were reading that obit, and then they found out it wasn't Mike Violette.
That was fucking hilarious.
Oh, what a funny moment that was! Like watching those two go back and forth on that obit with Justin was just that was comedy. That was a good moment.
Do you think like Mick? They were saying Mick go cuck the Mike Violette exclusive, but like, do you even think that was worth it to save for the main show, like to have him on there, or?
No, that guy was kind of a dick. So no, just so let him go with Mick. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so aggressive.
Yeah, it was funny though. Like it showed that the Mike Violette thing did show. Like even though Gus is gone, like the producer, like imagine if Gus did that, right? Where the Blind Mike sends Justin something to vet. He reads like the first few lines and then says, "Oh yeah, he's dead." Like imagine if Gus did that. Like I think Kirk would lose it way more on him. But it was kind of a Gus move.
Yeah, no doubt about that. That's a great call, BA.
Yeah, right. Because that's what I thought of. I was like, Gus reading this. Gus wouldn't have read the obituary. He would have just said it. And but it was a funny moment. It definitely was a very funny moment. But yeah, nice. I guess we might try to take calls. Oh, actually, this was my last topic. I forgot. Vodka stinks. Kirk's now talking about Dr. Vodka on the show as like he's like the show hater.
Hey, BA, I got a quick question for everyone. Is there, now that the networks have been shaken up, and all the talents, all you guys are where you are. Is there any shows that you think are excelling? Are there any shows that you think are falling flat? Like, where are you guys on the shakeup and in the shows?
I think it's still too early to tell for a lot of the shows. A lot of them are new. So see after 3 or 4 or 5 episodes, Mike and the Minifans, that's been good. This new one back with BA and the Minifans, that's been good. So we'll see in about a month.
Yeah, and we're the rundown guys will always be good. So it's just all we're doing is just changing locations, but the content should be the same.
How do you guys feel about the drips? How do you feel about the drips?
I didn't catch the second drips, but first one, great.
They're as advertised.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. I haven't caught the second one either, but the first episode was really good.
I've heard if you're up late at night and you can't go to bed, put on drips in the office. You're out like a light in 5 to 10 minutes. So I think that's a
new money ball.
You think the drip should put out an ASMR video? Maybe?
That's funny. I
think that's what they do, Gig.
Nice. I like that.
The drips the drips could be Mike. It was funny that Mutt was like, "Oh, the drips have something here." If you get the Mutt
about it,
If you get the Mutt Manansky, stamp of approval, it's almost the kiss of death, as Steve from Gloucester would say.
Next thing you know, Pat Ford's kicking down $20 for Mutt.
Yeah, it's funny. You're gonna see Mutt soon. He's gonna be the new Daver, where he's reaching out to Minifans for loans for bets. He's definitely gonna be reaching out, but. That's it for me. We're an hour. Maybe we'll try to get calls in next week. I don't know. I'll leave that up to the CEO. We got next week will be the week for before Portland. I secured an exclusive guest, the former producer Andrew Augustus, aka Gus. He'll be on Mike and the Minifans.
Wow.
We'll be going over Portland expectations. What do you think? So it'll be a great show. Thank you everyone for coming on. And we'll see you next week.
Great week of shows, KMS, this, everything. Great week. Good
job, guys.
Yeah,
thank you, BA.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen Kirk, think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and our aim in a hand. The host can't see it's Mike and the Minifans.